when MC Lyte divorced her ex-husband, John Wyche. We had people saying the marriage lasted longer than they thought, because their photos look like neither was genuinely into the other. Well, allegedly, MC Lyte and her ex-husband were living a double life. And if you ask a lot of people, they will tell you that they were surprised Lyte even married a man. But could his sexuality have been the reason for their irreconcilable differences and ultimate divorce? Or is it true that adultery played a part, because John was stepping out? Okay, for those who may not be aware, MC Lyte and John met on Match.com, and in August 2017, the duo tied the knot in Jamaica. But in 2020, just 3 years later, MC Lyte filed for a divorce from John Wyche, citing irreconcilable differences. And get this, they were married for 3 years, but reportedly separated within 5 months. MC Lyte actually got candid about her split, admitting that the process was far from easy. She confessed that at first she was completely distraught, stressing that when a marriage starts to fall apart, the first being the desperate attempt to make it work out for yourself, and then the pressure to make it work for everyone else who was invested, including family and friends who had witnessed their lavish Montego Bay wedding. But eventually, she came to the painful realization that the marriage simply wasn't going to last. I think in the very beginning, I was very distraught. You know, I feel like there are phases whenever a relationship is ending, whether you're married or not. So it's that first phase like, oh my God, I gotta make this work for us. Then it's like, oh my God, I gotta make it work for everybody else involved. The family, you know, if there are children, people who flew all the way to wherever to see you all get married. And then you get to a point like, you know what? This ain't working. It doesn't matter. And what really matters is that we both end up in a happy place. She also explained that when the press caught wind of the story, many assumed she was already divorced. In reality, she revealed that she had just filed and was still going through the process at that time. She admitted it was tough in the beginning, but eventually she came to understand that happiness doesn't always mean staying together, and that a failed marriage doesn't mean you're a failure. According to her, holding on often has more to do with ego than love. And real strength comes from being able to let go. For Lyte, the goal was no longer forcing a broken marriage to work, but ensuring that both she and her ex could find peace and happiness apart. She also said that the divorce process took 3 years because W was reportedly hesitant to sign the papers. But even though Lyte kept the details of the divorce private, there were rumors that her husband was living a double life and that he was cheating on her. In addition to this, some sources also claimed that John was planning to Tinder swindle the heck out of Lyte. The thing is, when Lyte filed for divorce, there were rumors that her ex-husband was trying to take her hard-earned money. And while she didn't get into the nitty-gritty details of why they were going their separate ways, she did take time to shut down rumors that were swirling on the internet, saying that John Wyche was trying to steal her coins. For starters, in a 2023 Instagram post, she wrote that her divorce was not a battle and that Wyche never tried to take her assets. She also addressed the same thing during an interview with The Breakfast Club, where she said that her earnings from her music came from touring, and she was able to do most of her things from touring. In her words, when I started touring is when I started making money, and then I got a house, and then without budgeting or anything, by the time I furnished the house, I had nothing to cover my windows with. So I had to put sheets up in the window and have my manager stop by and be okay with that scene. And it wasn't until I went out on the road the next time that I could finish the house. There's so much more money being made in this business, and I can only hope that the youngins are doing the right thing with it, because there are ease and flows. In the same interviews where she also talked about how despite selling more than 1 million records, she admitted to not receiving enough compensation for publishing royalties. Did you get any money from 'cause you sold millions of records? Did you get any of that publishing royalties? Anything back then? Slightly, but nothing like, you know, I should have. Yeah, I mean, this is a treacherous game. And what's interesting is, on the internet now, it's like every nook and cranny you can see truth being told, which is really truth. Well, yeah, you got some people that are just like, look, this is how the record deal works. Oh, gotcha. You know. Which I think is really admirable of those people to kind of speak their truth. Well, Lyte also said that she kept her full music catalog, all royalties, and personal assets because of a prenuptial agreement. And she specifically said that her husband never tried to get anything. In her words, When the whole divorce thing happens, I just saw all of this stuff that says he was trying to get this or she got to keep it. It's not that she got to keep. He was never trying to do that. We had a He's got his own stuff that I'm sure he was happy that I didn't want any part of. And so we made an agreement very early on that we'd have a prenup, and that would be it. I just didn't like the turn they were taking. But it's not like I didn't expect it. Anything to get a click, people will say, I was just happy that I was able to set the record straight. Regardless, we still have people saying that John was still living a double life and cheating on Lyte. But like I mentioned, others said that they were more surprised that she married a man in the first place. Now, y'all know that there have always been rumors that MC Lyte is bi at best, and there have always been rumors that she and Queen Latifah were romantically involved. Okay? We know that these two have always been so close. And MC Lyte has openly said they've always had transparency and trust. So much so that they could talk about anything without fear of a misunderstanding. Lyte even called Latifah, her sister, the Queen. Adding that Queen Latifah has single-handedly changed the way every female MC looks at their business and changed the way the world views female MCs and their business potential. She also reflected on their early connection in an interview with Essence and said that Latifah stood out from the start. In her words, right from the start, we were inseparable. She had this vibrancy. Artistically, Latifah was free. So much of that is because of her mother. Her mother gave her wings to fly. But then again, people have always speculated that something intimate was going on between them. Well, with Queen Latifah, her sexuality has always come into question through her on-screen performances. For instance, in the film Set It Off, she takes on a more masculine role. And Latifah's character can be described as a lesbian bank robber. And she was so successful at playing this masculine role that rumors about her sexuality started spreading. But in the early stages of her career, Latifah chose not to address the rumors regarding her sexuality, only further fueling the rumors of a relationship between her and Lyte. They've both actually been asked this question directly, and in her 2024 interview on The Breakfast Club, MC Lyte emphasized how their friendship is built on transparency and trust, saying that they take care of each other to avoid misunderstandings, and even addressed rumors of them being together, which she dismissed as never was right. However, Mick Lyte admitted that at first, the whispers about her sexuality did bother her, but eventually she learned to brush them off, saying it was more like, okay, that's how you want to see me. Fine, but that's not all of who I am. She also acknowledged that certain things may have happened in her life, but insisted that people were wrong to box her in or define her identity by assumptions. According to her, being young in the industry meant constantly being pushed into roles or labels that others felt comfortable with, leaving many artists stuck in expectations that weren't really their truth. Lyte revealed that people often doubted she could look the way she did and still genuinely be into men, adding that she actually considered herself far more traditional than anyone would guess. She went on to say that her decision to get married came from a deep belief in the sanctity of marriage and partnership, stressing that the failure of that union was nothing short of devastating. The way she put it made it clear that behind the strong image, there was a woman who wanted love and stability, and wasn't afraid to challenge the narratives that others imposed on her. While other than Queen Latifah, there have also been assumptions of intimacy between Lyte and Jada Pinkett Smith. Yes, that Jada. Personally, I can't confirm any of these. And the last time I checked, she was happily dating tech industry professional Aaron Johnson, a relationship she hard-launched in early 2023. Insiders even revealed that Lyte believes she attracted him by becoming a better version of herself, claiming he's a reflection of her growth, and she openly admitted she was in love. But don't expect wedding bells just yet. Lyte has been upfront that both she and her man have already been through marriage and divorce, so they're not rushing down the aisle. Still, she teased that marriage is definitely on the table, but just not something they're sprinting towards this time around. And here's where it gets juicy. Fans who remember her 1993 hit Roughneck might be surprised. Johnson is said to be nothing like the bad boys she once celebrated. According to Lyte, her family was stunned when they met him, calling him a ray of sunshine and a total opposite of her usual type. She reportedly admitted she had to adjust to being with someone so different. And now she's loving the softer side of life he brings her. As she put it, Everything feels right on the inside, and the feeling is mutual. Well, honey, I don't know for certain if they're still together because Lyte deleted a lot of the photos of them together on the ground. To make matters worse, in the last couple of months, people have spoken so strongly about how she should just be true to herself. Huh? Honestly, at this point, I don't know who between her and her ex-husband was living a double life. But you'll let me know what you think in the comment section below?